10 years have passed since Perseus, demigod son of Zeus, defeated the monstrous Kraken. After the war, he turned his back on the world of gods and monsters and chose to live a quiet life as a fisherman. He raises his young son, Helios, alone after the death of his wife Io. Perseus wants only peace and to protect his son from the violent world he left behind. He spends his days fishing and teaching Helios how to live a simple life, free from the burden of divine battles. One night, he is visited by his father, Zeus. Weakened and appearing with a sense of urgency, Zeus warns Perseus that the gods are losing their power because humanity has stopped praying. Without human devotion, their strength is dwindling and the walls of Tartarus, the prison that holds the ancient Titans, are weakening. Kronos, their father and king of the Titans, is stirring in his slumber. If freed, he will bring ruin to the world. Zeus asks Perseus to join him, Poseidon, and Ares in descending into the underworld to prevent Kronos' awakening. But Perseus refuses, saying he wants nothing to do with the gods or their wars anymore. He believes the time of gods has passed. Soon after, a massive creature attacks Perseus' village. A chimera, a horrifying fire-breathing beast with the body of a lion, a goat-like second head and a serpent for a tail. It kills several villagers and sets buildings ablaze. Perseus rushes into battle, trying to protect Helios and the townspeople. Armed with only a spear, he confronts the chimera head-on. It throws him into the air, breathes fire at him and nearly kills him. But Perseus stabs the serpent tail, then impales the beast through the mouth with a shattered spear, killing it. Though he survives, the encounter makes clear that something ancient and dark is reawakening. Elsewhere, Zeus visits the underworld to meet with Hades, god of the dead, and Ares, god of war. He seeks their help in strengthening the walls of Tartarus. Poseidon joins them. But Hades, still bitter about Zeus's past betrayals, refuses to help. Instead, he reveals his plan to allow Kronos to rise. Ares also betrays his father, seething with resentment that Zeus has always favored Perseus over him. In the ambush, Hades uses his power to drain Zeus's strength. Poseidon fights back and allows Zeus to survive the attack briefly, but Ares knocks Zeus unconscious. The two traitors chain Zeus in Tartarus and begin channeling his divine energy to feed Kronos. Their betrayal begins to tip the balance of power toward the Titans. Poseidon manages to escape and flees to the surface. Gravely injured, he finds Perseus and warns him of what's happening. Kronos is rising, and unless the gods unite, the world will fall into chaos. Poseidon tells Perseus there is only one weapon powerful enough to kill Kronos, the Spear of Triumph. This weapon must be forged from 3 divine artifacts: Zeus's thunderbolt, Hades' bident, and Poseidon's trident. As he dies, Poseidon gives his trident to Perseus and urges him to find the other 2 components. Reluctantly, Perseus accepts the call to battle. He travels to the camp of Queen Andromeda, who now leads a large army of men preparing for the war against the Titans. Andromeda welcomes Perseus warmly, remembering how he saved her a decade ago. She introduces him to her loyal general, Mantius. Perseus explains that they need the help of Hephaestus, the god who built Tartarus, to find the way into the prison and defeat Kronos. To find Hephaestus, they first need a navigator, Agenor, a rogue demigod and son of Poseidon, who has been imprisoned by Andromeda for theft. Perseus visits Agenor in his cell and convinces him to help in exchange for freedom. Though arrogant and mischievous, Agenor agrees and uses Poseidon's trident to guide them by sea. They set sail aboard a warship with Andromeda and her army. Their journey takes them to a remote volcanic island hidden by divine forces. There, amid the remnants of ancient divine structures, they find Hephaestus, who is eccentric and half-mad but kind-hearted. He lives among the ruins of his creations, lonely and isolated. When he learns that Kronos is rising, he agrees to help them. He reveals the existence of a hidden entrance to Tartarus, a massive, shifting labyrinth that constantly rearranges itself, making navigation nearly impossible. He offers to lead them into the maze. Just as they prepare to enter the labyrinth, Ares arrives. Hephaestus triggers one of his mechanical traps to allow the others to escape but is killed in the process. Perseus, Andromeda, Agenor, and the surviving soldiers enter the labyrinth, which immediately begins shifting around them. The walls move, separating them and creating confusion. Inside, they are forced to navigate deadly traps and ancient guardians. Perseus eventually reaches the deepest level of Tartarus, where he finds Zeus chained and nearly drained of all life. Kronos' essence is feeding on Zeus's power, growing stronger. Ares appears again, confronting Perseus in a bitter, personal showdown. Ares vents his jealousy and rage, accusing Perseus of stealing Zeus's love. Hades arrives. Moved by guilt and the looming threat of Kronos' return, he changes sides. In a redemptive act, he restores some of Zeus's strength using his own remaining power, helping him recover just enough to escape. With Zeus still weak but alive, the group escapes Tartarus and returns to the surface. But the world is already changing. Kronos rises from the heart of a volcano, emerging as a massive, fiery titan. His body is composed of molten lava and smoke, and every step he takes destroys the land beneath him. The sky darkens, fire rains from above, and earthquakes shake the earth. Kronos begins marching toward the last human stronghold, determined to destroy mankind and the gods. Andromeda rallies her army and leads them to the battlefield to confront the oncoming horde. Thousands of Machi rise from the ground, swarming the landscape. Mortals charge into battle, fighting bravely against the monstrous army. Zeus and Hades, weakened but still divine, join the fight. They unleash their powers, lightning and shadows, striking down legions of enemies together for the first time in centuries. Despite their efforts, Kronos continues to advance. Perseus knows the only hope lies in completing the Spear of Triumph. He still needs Zeus's thunderbolt and Hades' bident. With Hades weakened, he gives his bident willingly. But Zeus's thunderbolt is still in Ares' possession. Perseus confronts Ares again, this time alone, in a brutal and emotionally charged duel. Ares, filled with rage, attacks relentlessly. The battle is fierce and bloody. They fight with weapons and fists, each trying to overpower the other. Perseus is nearly defeated but finds strength in his purpose. Not divine pride, but love for his son and mankind. Perseus finally defeats Ares, killing him with Zeus' thunderbolt. He retrieves the thunderbolt, now in his possession. With all three divine weapons in hand, Perseus fuses them into the Spear of Triumph, a golden, radiant weapon forged by divine power. Time is running out. Kronos is nearing the army, his fiery breath decimating everything in its path. Perseus mounts Pegasus and takes flight over the battlefield. The skies are thick with smoke and fire. Below, soldiers scream, monsters roar, and gods struggle. Kronos lashes out with rivers of lava and explosive blast. Zeus, using the last of his strength, unleashes a final lightning strike, shielding the path for Perseus. Hades, too weak to continue, watches helplessly as his powers fade. Flying straight into the heart of chaos, Perseus dodges fiery blasts and volcanic eruptions. Kronos attempts to swat him from the sky. With one final effort, Perseus dives straight into the mouth of the Titan and hurls the Spear of Triumph into Kronos' molten chest. The weapon explodes in a blinding burst of light, tearing through Kronos from within. The Titan screams as his body collapses, disintegrating into ash and lava. Silence follows. The earth trembles one last time and then goes still. The sky clears. The Machi vanish. The battlefield is littered with the fallen, but the war is over. Zeus, gravely wounded, collapses. Perseus kneels beside him. Zeus, with his final breath, tells Perseus he is proud and that the age of gods has come to an end. He urges Perseus to live as a man and raise his son with strength and love. Zeus fades into light and dies peacefully. Hades, powerless and broken, walks away alone into the desolate landscape. Back at the village, Perseus returns to Helios. The divine war has ended. The gods are gone, but humanity remains. Perseus no longer fears who he is. He is not just a demigod, he is a father. He trains Helios in swordplay, knowing that the world may still bring future trials, but now he embraces a life guided by love.
If you enjoyed this video and want to catch my next movie, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Big things are coming, and you won't want to miss what's next. See you in the next one.